everyone, my name is Eloisa and welcome back to my channel. This is my second video in the series Living in a Pandemic, and it's about emergency funds. It's very close to my heart, especially now that I have come to learn about financial literacies. When this pandemic started and all these curfews and lockdowns has been implemented all over the world, I've been thinking of a lot of things, and one of them is emergency fund. I find it extremely important that people should know what emergency fund is, how to start with an emergency fund, why emergency fund is needed, especially in our current situation. Because I remember when ECQ or GCQ was implemented in the Philippines, and the whole country becomes so scared. They have feared what's gonna happen because we are not ready, we are not prepared. Anyway, no one is prepared for this kind of things. But emergencies are always there. So I have a few points I've been jotting down for this video. Emergencies are situations that requires our resources, that requires immediate attention. And number one, emergencies are real, diba? We always hear about the word struggle. Struggle is real, which is true. Struggle is real. Also, emergencies are real. All right. Number two, emergencies happen not only once. In our lifetime, we will have many emergencies. Are we ready for it? Number three, emergencies can strike anytime. Yes, it has no respect of the timing. It doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, midnight, while you are sleeping, today, tomorrow, next day, next month, next year. Again, are we ready for it? Number four, emergencies drains. Yes? What does it drain? It drains our pocket. It drains us mentally. It drains us physically. Diba? If we are not ready for it. What I have learned in the past year about emergency fund is that if you are a single person, you must have at least 3 months of your gross income in the bank where you can access it anytime. And if you are a married person with an immediate responsibilities, like you have wife, you have children, you have a family, I've learned that, like me, I'm a family person. So I must have 6 months of my gross income saved in a bank where I can access it anytime. So that is emergency fund. A fund that is accessible anytime if something happens. Why? Because emergencies are real. Emergencies happens not only once in our lifetime. Emergencies can strike anytime. And emergencies drains what? Our pocket. It drains us mentally and it drains us physically if we are not ready for it. The stoppage of work, we're not ready to just stay at home and just wait until we can work again. It has created a panic because a lot of people are dependent on a monthly salary, are dependent on daily wages, and because there is no emergency fund prepared for things like this. So when there is no emergency fund, we make hasty decisions. Emergencies it's not only like there is sickness like this. Emergencies can happen, I mean, in so many ways. Like somebody gets sick, not just COVID, somebody got a heart attack, somebody just had an accident. Those are emergencies. Your house all of a sudden was on fire, or there's calamities. You lose job. That's also an emergency. All of a sudden, these companies cannot anymore sustain its employees, gives all the benefits. So what they do, they cost cut, they remove few people. So what's gonna happen to them, right? So there's no work. And if we have emergency funds, if we lose our job, say for example, I'm a single person, I still have 3 months of savings in my bank, accessible anytime. I can portion it to last maybe 6 months because I'm single. And therefore, I have 3 to 6 months to what? To look for a good job. I don't have to make hasty decisions. We don't have to make hasty decisions that whatever job available is there, even if it's less than what you want, less favorable for you, you just grab it. You make hasty decisions. Why? Because you don't have an emergency fund, right? If you're single. What more if you're married? What more if you have children to feed? So a married person, as I said earlier, must have at least 6 months of salary saved for the same purpose. If we lose our job, we will not make hasty decisions to find a job immediately. We have time. We have time to think. We have time to assess what work you want and not just grab anything that comes your way right away, right? So when there is no emergency fund, we make hasty decisions. And when there is no emergency fund, our immediate thinking is that we borrow money. You end up borrowing money. And then when there is no emergency fund, you end up selling your assets. You sell your cars, you sell your house, you sell them to the bank, or you sell them to the first person that shows interest, but you cannot sell them at the right price because you are in a hurry to have money. You will grab whatever they can give you, whatever they can give us. So when there is no emergency funds, we make hasty decisions, we borrow money, and we sell assets. And when you have an emergency fund and you've learned to create an emergency fund for you and your family, and when emergency strikes, you are in control of the situation, which is good. You know what to do. You have a clear mind. You have a control of things, and you make sound decisions. You are understanding the situation and making sound decisions out of it. Number 3, when you have emergency fund, you are at peace. While the world are in panic, while the world are in fear of what's gonna happen in their lives in the next day or the next week or the next month, you are at peace. Why? Because you have an emergency fund. You have secured yourself through an emergency fund. You have secured your family through an emergency fund. At this time, for me especially, it has become so much of a learning. I have given it much importance to put my act together. At this time, we have to be conscious of spending. We have to learn financially how to manage. We have to make assessment of our finances while we have time, because when the world goes back in operation, again, we lose track of what is important. So while we are at home, we assess our current situation, we check our finances, where are we, what are we doing, what must be done, so that we prepare ourselves for situation like this. It's never too late. Once we learn financial literacy, even just a simple lessons of financial literacy, I do encourage you to immerse yourself, have the knowledge on how to build emergency funds, how to save, how to secure yourself of your health care, because things like this will not happen once only. It can be a recurring situation for us. So while everyone stays at home, I hope you have learned something from this video. I hope that I have given you at least a glimpse of the importance of an emergency fund, why we have to start now. Like we should start now that we have learned of it. Knowledge can be very useful only if we act on it, only if we apply it to ourselves, in our lives. So I hope you guys have learned something in this video. This is my second video in living in the pandemic, and I'm so excited to make more videos for you guys, and I hope you follow and subscribe to my channel. If you have questions, let me know. You can DM me, and I hope to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.